My name is Linda Lord from Cottam United Church. Today we begin in the book of Mark, chapter 14. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death, but they didn't find any. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements didn't agree. Then some stood up and gave false testimony against him. We heard him say, "I will destroy the temple made with human hands, and in 3 days will build another, not with hands." Yet even their testimony did not agree. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. I'm not sure about you, but I don't think I could keep silent if I knew that people were bringing false testimony against me, and yet Jesus does. I don't think that I would be very comfortable listening to people tell stories about me that weren't true, but Jesus does. I don't think I could stand in silence and not defend myself, but Jesus does. And in Luke chapter 22, we read, "At daybreak, the council of elders of the people, both the chief priests and the teachers of the law, met together, and Jesus was led before them. 'If you are the Messiah,' they said, 'tell us.' And Jesus answered, 'If I tell you, you will not believe me. And if I asked you, you would not answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated on the right hand of the mighty God.' They all asked, 'Are you then the Son of God?' He replied, 'You say that I am.'" It's interesting that in this passage, Jesus does speak, but he speaks in a way that raises more questions than he answers. If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Would you believe me? I'm trying to tell you, would you believe me? I don't think you're going to believe me. And then they ask him, "Are you then the Son of God?" And he says, "You say that I am." Now, there have been other occasions when Jesus has asked his disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" And during Lent, we have an opportunity to ask that question again. Who do we say that Jesus is? And hearkening back to the original example of how I would behave if someone was bringing false testimony against me, who do people say that I am? Am I someone whose word can be believed? Am I someone that people can count on? Am I someone who people would identify as a follower of Christ? For it isn't just who we believe we are or who we say we are, but it's also important who other people believe that we are. And is it consistent with our own belief system? And is it consistent with our behavior? And finally, we read in John chapter 18. Meanwhile, the high priest questioned Jesus about his disciples and his teaching. "I have spoken openly to the world," Jesus replied. "I always taught in synagogues or at the temple where all the Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said." Jesus left his words behind. We now have the Bible. We learn in our homes and we learn in our churches where Christians come together. Jesus has no secrets. He has not kept anything back from any who want to find him. So if you have heard him, What has he said to you? What difference has Jesus made in your life? And what occasion does this Lenten season provide for you to reflect on the testimony, those bringing false testimony against Jesus? What would you have said if you had been asked to testify? Who would you have said that Jesus is? And what message has he brought to your life? Not in secret, but in the open. What has he said to you? What is your testimony today of who Jesus is in your life? Who is he and what does he represent in your life? You have heard his teachings. You have heard his word in the Bible. There are no secrets. What has he said to you?